Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JC Courtside, coming at y'all today on Friday, May 29th. Can y'all believe it? May? We're done. We are headed into June next time I see y'all. Hope everybody's having a phenomenal start to their Frisky Friday. Good morning. I hope you guys enjoyed basketball last night. As you guys know, we did not do an episode Thursday morning because there was no game, and I don't really want to talk off season while this season is still going. So I've prepared yesterday, took some time to prepare some episode concepts that we can do in the middle of the non-finals games. Because as you guys know, the finals, when it starts, there's 2 days off between each game. But yeah, I've planned fun episodes for that time being. And remember, I just have to emphasize this. During the summer, we will still be doing podcasts. It won't be 5 days a week, but at bare minimum, it's going to be 3 days a week. Okay. So it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Unless, let's say Kevin Durant gets traded to the Shanghai Sharks, on Monday night, we will do a Tuesday episode. Let's say Wednesday night, when there's no episode on Thursday, LeBron James decides to play for the Detroit Pistons in his final season because he's always loved the Pistons. Then there will be a Thursday morning episode. So pending any breaking news, but like, for example, if Greg Monroe gets fired from the coaching staff and the developing staff of the New Orleans Pelicans on a Wednesday night, there's not going to be an episode Thursday. So it's going to have to be somewhat breaking. I'm not going to just throw up an episode because a franchise decided to move on from one of their developmental coaches. Okay. So I hope you guys are excited for the summer as well, because we are going to be banging every which way with so many fun episodes. We're going to be doing like predictions of teams, expectations for teams, ranking the players and positions throughout the entire offseason. It's going to fly by. I guarantee it. All right. And of course, we'll still be posting them in the same places all the time: Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. And we'll still be streaming them on the Purple app and TikTok. Guys, let's go ahead, and we got a couple things on the agenda today. All right, we're going to be talking about the game 6 last night. We're going to be anticipating game 7 tomorrow night. And we're also going to be talking about the new draft lottery and anti-tanking policies that Adam Silver went and passed. And I'm going to be talking about some nuances that some people are not talking about. And I guarantee you, I'm going to be spreading some facts around that you guys have not heard about this new draft lottery reform. All right, we're also going to be talking about a recent injury, but seems like it's all good in the hood. So we're probably just going to touch on that. Okay. And then we're going to send y'all off into a great weekend. So let's just go ahead and get started with my favorite 2 words. My favorite, absolute favorite 2 words in sports, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? It just has to be shared. It has to be shared. Zaza, take it away, baby. Okay, well, the volume is muted. I don't understand why. Sorry, technical difficulties. It's a solo man show. My apologies. Play, man, play.
Nothing easy. Nothing easy. We're going to game 7, baby. Game 7. Game 7.
Sorry, guys. It's a one-man wrecking crew, bro. If something goes wrong, it's all on me. I don't have anybody else pushing the buttons back here like a lot of the other podcasts do. It's just me. As the great Zaza Pachulia once said, nothing easy. We are going to game 7, baby. Game 7. It's happening. I don't really have a whole lot of takeaways from this game last night. I think we all have to be real with ourselves, as I thank Joe for the 5-month resub on the Purple app. I appreciate you very much. Let's go ahead and talk about this game. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about things that we should expect going into game 7, okay? Well, first and foremost, the Oklahoma City Thunder cannot play on the road against San Antonio Spurs. They can't. And I would like to just say it's a shame that game 1 was so incredible, because it got everybody, including my own, our hopes up going into the series thinking, yup, it's going exactly how we predicted. This is going to be an unbelievable series. Well, it is the furthest thing from that. I can't tell you how boring this series has truly been for a non-fan of either of these teams. Truly, extremely boring. Now, last night, I'd like to say the officiating was better. I think it was Tyler Ford as well, and he wasn't blowing his whistle on every play. But guys, game 5, there were 75 free throws taken. 70. What casual NBA fan is going to sit at their boy's house or at a bar and enjoy that display. Not only was it a blowout in game 5, but 75 free throws between the two teams. So going to this game, in game 6, when there was only 37 free throws, that's a lot more of an enjoyable experience. I think you guys can agree. I agree. Only 37 free throws when the game prior had 75. It had 2 times the amount of free throws in game 5 than they did in game 6. So as a sweat NBA fan, as a sweaty NBA fan, I bleed the NBA. This was a much better experience. Even though it was a blowout, it was still at least not 75 free throws taken between the two teams. So I would like to thank Tyler Ford for that. The unfortunate reality of this series, though, is since game 1, it's pretty much been nothing but blowouts. And I'm happy that Tyler Ford allowed them to play last night. But I would like to say, and I got to start off by saying, the people that hate the Oklahoma City Thunder, because people hate the Oklahoma City Thunder, it interests me so much. And yes, my dad is a very smart man. He came into the Purple App chat and said, was Tony Brothers a ref in game 5? The fact that my dad, with all due respect, is a casual NBA fan at this point, the fact that my dad knows the referee by name and knows the referee by reputation speaks volumes. My father is 65 years old, does not really watch the NBA. He just really started watching heavily towards the tail end of the season when the Pistons are doing well and for the playoffs, okay? So he's more than a casual fan, I'd say. But the fact that he knew that Tony Brothers officiated game 5 off the dome because of 75 free throws in that game speaks nothing but volumes. Now, to speak on that note, I was talking about it with my Purple App chat before the podcast started today. And a big highlight was the fact that people hate Oklahoma City Thunder before they've even became a dynasty. They are a very dynastic team, right? When you look at them, you can say, you know what? They might be the first team to go back-to-back championships since 2018. That's 8 years ago. And when you look at the other side and you see what Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs are doing, they could be the very first team to go from lottery to the finals in NBA history without adding an All-NBA, a superstar, an all-star onto their team. So both sides are crazy. But one thing that's very interesting to me is the officiating discourse with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They win game 5, and because the refs didn't call 2 bad plays, it was rigged. In this game, the San Antonio Spurs got away with the same, if not more, than what Oklahoma got away with in game 5. As a non-biased fan, I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I'm just rooting for good basketball. But yeah, I don't see any discourse about that. I don't see any discourse. I don't see people sharing the clip of Wemby yanking Lou Dort's hair. I saw Isaiah Hartenstein yanking, I think it was Vassell's hair or Castle's hair, or one or the other. I saw the clip of Cason Wallace goaltending. I saw that go around 100 times. They didn't call that. But for some reason yesterday, when Wembanyama's goaltend in the first quarter, that didn't get talked about. That didn't get called. Listen, y'all, the fact that people hate the Oklahoma City Thunder this much, it's not surprising, okay? I understand it. So before you freak out and tell me to shut up and I don't know ball, it doesn't surprise me. Because the common discourse and the common conversation about the Oklahoma City Thunder in this season, and even last season, if you remember, nobody wanted Oklahoma to win. Nobody, other than Oklahoma fans. And that's so strange to me. Not only do they have an MVP, but they haven't won before, and yet they were a team that has taken steps. Teams normally get despised when they become winners, right? When they become dynasties. You can look at the Lakers going to 4 titles in 5 years in the early 2000s. You can look at the Golden State Warriors going to all those finals. You can look at the Miami Heat and how they were formed and why people hate them. But when you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, the fact that people hated them prior to them even winning a championship it speaks volumes. I'm not mad at you for thinking that way. Because if the casual audience, yes, the casual audience, if the casual audience hate you as a team, that's where you know it's a problem. That's where you know it's a problem. It's not because they're some crazy good defensive team. Nobody's going to hate you because of that. The reason people hate you is because you can get away with crazy defensive schemes and play calls, but then on the other side, you flop, you exaggerate contact, and that's why people hate you. People don't hate you because of your talented basketball players. People hate you because of the way that you play basketball. See, when you look at the San Antonio Spurs and you look at the New York Knicks, they might garner a little bit more of a fresh fan base and the casual fan base because of fun story headlines. The Spurs are young. They have an alien on their team. The Knicks haven't been to the finals in 27 years. The Knicks haven't won a championship in 53 years. People only hate the New York Knicks because of the fans of the New York Knicks. They don't hate the New York Knicks for being the New York Knicks. Look at my dad. He hates the Knicks. He hated Patrick Ewing. He hated all those guys. John Starks. He hated all of them. But now he's rooting for the Knicks because of the storyline. He doesn't hate them for the players. He likes the players. He hated Brunson when we lost to Brunson, but that's because Brunson's so good. So that is why people hate the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it's so different. This has never happened before in NBA history, ladies and gentlemen. Look at every previous champion in the last 100, I guess not 100 years, but 70 years. Go look. People didn't hate Larry Bird before he won. People didn't hate Magic before he won. People didn't hate the Bad Boys before they won. People didn't hate Jordan. But yet now people hate Oklahoma before they even won anything last year. We were all rooting for Indiana. We were all doing it. We all wanted to see the underdog win. So why is it that Oklahoma why have they become a villain of the NBA today? It's purely because of this officiating, and I'm going to use the word that all of us hate, unethical basketball. Now, I'll be real with all of you. I am the last person to talk about officiating in a podcast. I think that's boring. I like basketball, so I'm going to talk about basketball. I watched Shai Gilgeous-Alexander get 25 free throws against my Detroit Pistons this season. The Pistons lost in overtime. You guys are probably wondering, damn, that was a close game. How did Cade play? He didn't. You guys are probably wondering, damn, Duren must have went crazy, right? He didn't. In fact, Cade didn't play that game. Duren didn't play that game. Stu didn't play that game. Duncan Robinson didn't play that game. Tobias didn't play that game. Only one starter played, Asar Thompson. And that game went into overtime because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 25 free throws. Now, I've talked about Shai a lot. I've talked about him a lot. And I think it's time we talk about the playoff that he's having now. This is not the MVP. The way he's playing right now, he is not playing like the MVP. This man not only has more free throws made than field goals made in the playoffs. I'd like to show you guys how crazy that is. No player in NBA history, not Michael Jordan, not LeBron James, not Kobe Bryant, not even Dwayne Wade, who had a crazy call in the early 2000s. None of them have ever gone to playoffs with more free throws made than field goals made. So let's talk about the main root of the issue. While Adam Silver is busy overhauling the NBA draft lottery, which we'll talk about shortly, he's allowing the casual audience to watch the product on the floor and think, what is this? No wonder I stopped playing basketball or I stopped watching basketball. Guys, the reason why I made this community, right? One, because I love talking about hoops. Two, because I love basketball, right? And three, I wanted to bring together a community of people who enjoy basketball. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get away from the toxicity on TikTok, on Twitter, on Reddit, everywhere. And I wanted to create a community that can just enjoy basketball together. Now, when I did that, I'd like to ask you all a personal question. How many times in your life have you maybe gone to the barber shop, gone to the mall with your friends, the movies, a party, a wedding, an engagement, a baby shower, wherever, and you talked about your favorite player. For example, I'll bring up Cade Cunningham. And then the person responds, "Oh, is that NBA?" "Yeah, I don't really watch the NBA, man. I don't watch anymore." How many times did that happen to you in your personal life? I can't even count. I can't even count how many times that's happened to me. I want to talk NBA. I want to talk hoops. Nobody wants to talk NBA with me. Nobody. I'm from Detroit. You thought it was bad then? I live in North Carolina now. Nobody talks about the NBA. Nobody talks about the NBA here. And it's no surprise they have the Charlotte Hornets, right? Who did have an up-and-comer. But typically, people want to talk about football, right? And it's not because football is a bad sport or I don't like football. It's because football has remained a constant. Yes, they've changed rules. Yes, they've changed minuscule things, right? But it has remained constant. You've had your conspiracies and all. But for the NBA, for some reason, I don't really watch the NBA anymore. Nobody watches the NBA anymore. And then when the playoffs start, you start hearing people talk about a little bit more of the playoffs. Because all the casuals are trying to tune into it. Everybody talks about the Hurricanes down here. Everybody. I live in the Triangle. I live 15 minutes away from the Lenovo Center. But I'm from Detroit. And the fact that nobody, and I mean nobody, would even want to talk hoops with me, it's sort of sad. And this is a main reason why. I was at the gym the other day. Some guy noticed my Cade Cunningham shirt. And he asked me, "You're a fan of the Pistons?" I said, "Yeah, I'm from Detroit." He said, "I don't really watch the NBA, man. I tuned in the other night, and that dude, SGA on the Thunder, he was flopping like a fish all over the court." And when that moment hit me, when that conversation hit me, I don't tell people what I do because then it opens conversation, right? My friends know what I do. My family knows what I do. But I don't tell random people what I do because then they get interested. So I just tell them I'm an engineer, which I was. So it's not a lie. I have my degrees in engineering. But the fact that a random civilian in the gym, the first thing he mentioned to me was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander flopping. That's a casual audience member reflecting on what's wrong with the NBA. And that's where you know you've messed up. Speaking on this game, there's not much I can say on it. Castle has limited his turnovers, and he's been playing really, really well since Fox has returned. Fox has not been shooting well, but they've been turning the ball over way less because Fox has returned, even though he's not healthy. Wemby had an incredible game. I believe he had 28 points and 10 rebounds. He started the momentum for this game. He was hitting three after three after three after three after three to start the game, and San Antonio followed him. They got on his back and they ran. Vassell was 4 for 7. Champagny was 4 for 8. Dylan Harper had an incredible game. He would have been stud of the night any other night. He had 18.6 rebounds, 4 assists as a 20-year-old. I thought Carter Bryant brought good energy. This is a great game all around for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, the issue that I have is what the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing. Lou Dort, 2 for 11. Isaiah Hartenstein was a minus 25, 5 for 10. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was a team low. 15 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, 2 turnovers. He was 0 for 5 from 3 and 6 for 18 from the field. They will never win a game. They will never win a game if your superstar is having a piss poor game like that. They'll never win a game. Now, TikTok. I would love to see you guys swing on into the Purple app. If you guys enjoyed the story, if you guys enjoyed what I'm talking about, hoops, we do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you guys would want to interact with me, because you guys are all talking into a void over there, be sure to come through to the Purple app stream. That's right here. This is the Purple app that I'm referring to. The link is in my bio, guys. Cario and Africa, thank you guys so much for the follows on the Purple app. Much love. Be sure to join the Discord as well. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so very much. It's a much better viewing experience over here. And by the way, guys, Martin, if you guys are watching in the TikTok, if you guys watch just 3 streams on the Purple app in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription so you don't get ads here. Okay? So here, somebody actually just posted a really important comment in the Purple app chat, which is the only thing I read. Moose, who's a Bulls fan, asked, "Only thing I ask from the refs is keep it consistent, either a tight whistle or no whistle, but either way, let the teams decide games." And that's been the biggest, issue for me as of late with the officiating. So in case you guys don't know, right? In case you guys don't know, the biggest issue for me with officiating is not the amount of calls or lack thereof, right? My biggest problem is the inconsistency between games. Now, in my honest opinion, I think the NBA could benefit off of experimenting, having the same officiating crew, the three guys or, the women, handle the entire series. So at least you know how you can play with these officials at the helm. Why can't Tyler Ford or, whoever else just dictate and officiate that entire series rather than mixing them up game after game? Today you can play physical, tomorrow you can't. Today you can play physical, tomorrow you can't, because overall, you guys can all admit, these games have been extremely consistent. Individually. Because as I just said, game 5 had 75 free throws, but this game only had 37. Which one do you think fans enjoy watching more? 75 free throws or 37? Now you can run into the fear of having bad refs and maybe, playing a little under the table action, right? But at that point, just get rid of those refs. For example, Mark Davis was the lead crew. It was the head crew of the refs for the Pistons and Cavs series. In the 2 games, I need you guys to hear me well as well. In the 2 games that Mark Davis officiated for Pistons and Cavs, the Cavs led the free throw battle 73-24. 2 games. 1 official. In both games he reffed, they had a 50 free throw advantage on the Pistons. So the other games weren't that bad, but those games, they were. And when you look at this game and you get ready for game 7, all I ask is be consistent. Be consistent right from the jump. Right from the jump. If you're going to pull hair, call it. If you're going to pull hair and not call it, fine. Don't call the next time they do. And this is the issue at hand. I fear that the officials are going to get a little too trigger happy, especially if Tony Brothers is there, because then he's going to think he's the star of the show. What I want to see in game 7 is quite simple. I want to see a rock fight. I want to see not a dog fight, not a rock fight. In fact, I want to see a mud fight. I want to see the ugliest, dirtiest game of basketball so far this series. I want a low scoring, defensive heavy. I want to see an ugly game. I don't care who wins. Somebody in the TikTok just said he hates the Spurs. I love the Spurs. I'm pulling for the Spurs to win, but I don't care who wins this series. I just want to see an ugly game. And you guys know how game 7s have been this year, at least. They've been blowouts. A lot of them have been blowouts. But in all of history, in all of NBA history, game 7s have always been the ugliest. They've always been the ugliest. Okay? Some guy in the TikTok said, and I quote, his name is Isaiah. He said, he just complained about 75 free throws, and now he wants a lot of physicality. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are proving my point why I don't read the TikTok chat. There are over 220 of you over there. When have I ever complained about physicality? I'm a Pistons fan. I'm a Pistons fan. There's nothing I love more than physicality. I just said, you're just not listening. This game had 37 free throws. I like that. Game 5 had 75 free throws. Who the fuck likes that? I just swore, now I'm going to get banned off of TikTok. All right. TikTok, if you guys want to actually get away from all the moron fucks in the TikTok, come join the Purple app stream. There's 200 of y'all over there. There's 200. If you come over here to the Purple app and watch 3 streams in a row, I will gift you a $6 subscription. Join the Purple app stream. I'm done reading the TikTok. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't deal with y'all, bro. I can't deal with y'all. So be sure to come through to the Purple app stream. I will thank every single follower and shout out all of you followers who come to the Purple app stream. Okay. You guys know what it's called. It rhymes with witch. It rhymes with witch as a T in front of that word, right? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and continue. I want to see a very ugly game. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I want to see a defensive heavy game, right? And I think if the game favors defense, you're going to see something that I've been talking about for a long time, right? Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has had an issue in these playoffs. I don't know if it's his hand. I don't know if it's physicality. It might just be something so simple as Wembanyama's in the paint. It might be, that might be it. That might be it. I am watching Shai, right? And I thought he would be really good in a series like this. Just like I thought Cade Cunningham would have a really good game against the San Antonio Spurs, right? I thought that. But ladies and gentlemen, I always go back to this because I've talked about this a lot. Cade Cunningham and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play exactly the same. Neither one of them have crazy burst, right? Shai is just better efficiently from the same spots that Cade takes his shots, right? He's more efficient than Cade. Not in the playoffs, though. Cade was the most efficient player in the playoffs, which is sort of insane. Yeah, and the same guy, Isaiah, in the TikTok is laughing that Cade and Shai play the same. They do. They both get to the hoop at a prolific rate. They have the most drives in the entire NBA, but Shai finishes better than Cade. They both take the most mid-range shots in the NBA, but Shai finishes a better percentage of them. They both take a lot. They don't take many threes for a point guard, but they both hit about the same percent on pull-ups, right? So yes, that's not crazy. Isaiah in the TikTok. God, you're fucking stupid. In fact, I'm going to end the TikTok. There's 200 of y'all over there. Come to the Twitch stream. All right. If you guys are in the TikTok, yeah, I'm ending the TikTok. So we're live on Twitch. We're live on Twitch. So if you guys want more of the show, we're live on Twitch. Hey, fuck Isaiah and fuck TikTok chat. We're live on Twitch. All right. We're just baiting them to come over here. Aaron, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you a lot, bro. They play the same way. And I really thought, but the thing is, Cade doesn't have a good whistle, unlike Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Unfortunately, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a better whistle than Cade Cunningham. So that's where he gets that finishing upgrade. That's where his efficiency gets to go up. Ant and Aaron, thank you guys for the follows, as well as you, Fev. Thank you guys so much for coming to the Twitch and dropping a follow. The issue is I saw Cade struggle immensely against Victor Wembanyama. Immensely. I saw Cade have his worst 2 games in the entire NBA. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I saw Cade absolutely shit the bed against the Spurs in the 2 games. And I thought, damn, that's weird. I wonder if Shai will play well. And then here we are, fast forward a few months, and Shai is missing all of the same shots that Cade was missing. So even though they're both really good mid-range shooters and pull-up three-point shooters, it's so incredible to me that they're both having such bad games against Victor Wembanyama. You would think that 2 guys who are the best at mid-range shots in the NBA, you would think that those guys can play against Wemby well because Wemby's in the paint doing this. So this series has been so interesting to see the MVP completely collapse on the biggest stage of basketball, other than the finals, of course. Trills, thank you for the follow. I only respond to comments that are on topic, but I think this comment is on topic. Silver, thank you for the follow on Twitch as well. I'm going to read this comment from official Trey Ball. Guys, be sure to join the Discord as well. Guys, can we get the Discord link posted in the Twitch chat? We host watch parties in there. We hang out and we talk basketball all off season, all season in there. So be sure to join that. Official Trey Ball came into the Twitch and said, came from TikTok, but my 2 points on keeping refs is that refs hold grudges from game to game. And I know this is official. I know this as an official myself. It would get tiring from the pressure and stress of the same coaches shouting at you. Build resistance. Remember the game Tony Brothers lost his mind? That's why. Second point is there's going to be less free throws in a blowout. Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely agree. A great comment. You're right. They hold grudges. They get upset. And sometimes they can only withstand so much from these officials. I think that's a great point. But I don't think it's necessary to be changing the entire crew chief. I think just changing the crew chief and keeping the other officials could work out because the other officials don't really talk to the refs all that much. It's typically just the main guy. So whether it's Scott Foster, Tony Brothers, or Tyler Ford, it's usually just one guy that talks to them, right? Zach, I'm going to talk about that. They had 13 points. Thank you for the 2-month resub, by the way. I appreciate you a lot. Imagine a full series of Scott Foster and Chris Paul. It'd be disgusting. Oklahoma scored 13 points in the 3rd quarter in this game. And overall, what I could tell you all is if you watch this, actually watch this, I genuinely believed that I had a stroke and I was watching the Pistons play. I thought I was watching Detroit. I saw a little pop up on the bottom of the screen. The Thunder have scored 0 points in the last 7.5 minutes. And I said, whoa, deja vu. I've seen that pop up so many times this season for the Pistons. But I was watching the defending champions. They have never, in fact, I looked up a statistic for this. They have never, not once, since they've had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, gone 7.5 minutes without scoring any points, ever. They've gone that long without getting field goals, but they didn't even have points. No free throws, no field goals, nothing. That was the longest drought since they've had Shai on the team, ever, of not scoring. And it happened in a critical Game 6. Tippy, that's what it genuinely feels like. They were smoking wide open layups. They were smoking wide open threes. It was bad. It was very, very bad. Isaiah, the main guy, the main culprit in the TikTok, just came to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you for joining in, man. I'd love to get engaged in real conversations with you. Be sure to join the Discord as well. Chat, can we get an exclamation point Discord in here? Overall, all in all, Nemo, thank you for the 56-month resub. All in all, I would like to just say for Game 7, it's going to be very interesting in the headlines that are going to be dominating. Okay, this is the main issue at hand. Can the Oklahoma City Thunder bounce back at home? Can they win at home? Can their role players hit their shots? Can their superstar behave like the superstar he is? Can he get to the free throw line? Can he score? Can they become the first team to go back-to-back championships since 2018's Golden State Warriors? It's going to be interesting. Or are we going to see the start of the Victor Wembanyama era? It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. And I'm so excited for Game 7. And I know you guys are probably wondering, Jay-Z, do you have a prediction? Guys, listen. I've been wrong all series. I literally have not gotten a game right. But if you remember, do you guys remember my prediction before this series? Do you guys remember who I said and how many games? I'm going to stay true to the prediction that I said before this series started. I said OKC in 7. That's what I said. And you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to roll with what I said before the series started. OKC in 7. It's going to be interesting. I also want to talk about one guy. By the way, let me thank a couple follows. Isaiah, Naruto, and Timar. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I appreciate y'all. Be sure to join the Discord, guys. Be sure to join the Discord. All right. You absolutely have to join the Discord. Official Trey Ball. That's a really long message. I'd love to see that after this. Timar, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub as well. That really means a lot. Guys, remember, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $6 subscription myself so you no longer get ads. Okay. I'm going to leave this game, and we can talk more about this after the podcast. All right. Because as you guys know, when we end the podcast, we just talk, we hang out, we talk whatever. Like we talk about just random stuff. Be sure to join the Discord, everybody. That's the place where you guys got to be. Join the Discord. Okay. My last point before I move on. If you had told me that J-Dub didn't play last night, I would have believed you. He was playing in 90-second stretches. In case you don't know, he would come in off the bench for 90 seconds, and then he would go to the bench. Guys, his stat line literally reads LOL. 1 point, 0 rebounds, 1 assist. LOL. Or 10 minutes, 1 point. LOL. Ladies and gents, he played 10 minutes, had 1 point, 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 2 turnovers. He was a minus 18. That was not good. That was not good at all. Every minute he was on the court, they were attacking him. I don't know if you guys noticed. They were attacking him. When he was on defense, they were attacking him. So I said if he can come back and be a decoy, I'd like to give Mitch Johnson some credit. They didn't even allow him to be a decoy. They didn't allow him to be. They were attacking him on defense, he'd get yanked. He'd take a shot, get yanked. He turned the ball over, get yanked. That was it. That was the J-Dub game. I think personally it would have been better had he didn't play. But honestly, and I mean this wholeheartedly honestly, I don't think he should play in game 7. I think he should just rest and return for the finals if they can make it there. I think Oklahoma just needs to rely on their role players. It didn't work out last night. Shea, can you do it? I don't know, man. I'll tell you this much. I said Oklahoma in 7 before the series started. I'm going to stick with my guns, but I'm worried for them. I am worried for them. I am. I really, really am. It's going to be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. I think that's all I have to say about this series. As you guys know, game 7 is tomorrow night. I will probably be hosting a watch party in the Discord. I might not start it, but I will be there probably in the second half. As you guys know, my fiance came back after not being here for 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. She was visiting her family in the Bay Area. So I do want to spend some time with her this weekend. But as you guys know, we will be doing a watch party tomorrow night. All right. So if you guys want to watch this game with me, if you want to watch this game with my community, if you want to get to know me and everybody else better, be sure you come to the Discord. Okay. How do I join the Discord? You have to be in the Twitch stream. Type in !point Discord and join the Discord. All right. Because the game 7 is tomorrow. I'm pretty confident that it is tomorrow, right? Game 7. Yeah, it's Saturday. It is Saturday at 8. Okay. Guys, let's talk about our final 2 topics of the day. First and foremost, we got to talk about the draft lottery getting changed. Okay, so real quick, I do want to explain how this is changing. All right, so breaking news, the NBA's Board of Governors have passed the new anti-tanking rules that include expanding the draft lottery from 14 to 16 teams, a relegation zone where the bottom 3 teams get penalized with lessened chances for the number 1 pick, and flattened odds. Now, I did some more reading on this, right? I did some more reading on this just to figure out everything that has changed. So first and foremost, the NBA made an unprecedented move in American pro sports. They are now the first sport they are the first sport in the country to implement a punishment for being bad. Now, for everybody that's confused about that, soccer, right? They've been doing that. If your club is ass, they relegate you. They send you to the minor league, and you got to climb out of that relegation zone. You got to climb out of the minor league to get back into the majors. What are they? It's not the major leagues. What do they call it? It has a name. I don't remember what it's called, but they are the first American sports league to penalize a team for being bad. Now, how's this going to work? So I did some digging, right? And obviously, we all understand the 3-2-1 lottery, right? They named it to represent the number of lottery balls per team. Teams with a bottom 3 record, which is the relegation area, have only 2 lottery balls. Teams that do not qualify for the playoffs or play in tournament spots, 4 through 10, receive 3 lottery balls. So if you finish 4 through 10, you have better odds than the bottom 3 teams in the league. The number 9 seed and 10 play-in seeds in each conference receive 2 lottery balls each, the same amount as the bottom 3 in the NBA. And the losers of the 7 to 8 play-in games receive 1 lottery ball each. All 16 teams will be in the drawing. No team will be able to win the number 1 pick in consecutive years or be able to win 3 consecutive top 5 picks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to show you guys something. You are not allowed to do this anymore. Dylan Harper went second in 2025. Stephon Castle went number 4 to the San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama went number 1 to the San Antonio Spurs. That won't be able to happen anymore. That won't happen anymore. It won't. So the NBA changed this after they fixed the Spurs. Now, that's what everybody heard. Right? You'll never be able to get number 1 back-to-back years. You'll never be able to get 3 consecutive top 5 picks. So my question is, if the Wizards rolled out their team last year, fully healthy all year, are they not the worst team in the NBA? Are they not bad at basketball? What about the teams that are actually genuinely bad? What does this mean? How are they going to climb out? They just don't? They're just going to be ass forever? I don't get it. Skill issue, I guess. So there's another thing that I wanted to mention. that a lot of people don't know. By them doing this, they also changed the second round. It will be inverted to the opposite of the first round. Meaning, the best teams in the NBA will not just get the 30th, the 29th, the 28th picks in the first round, but they'll also get the 31st, the 32nd, the 33rd. They inverted how the second round works. The best teams get the best picks in the second round, which makes no sense. Why? It's a snake draft, but why did you do that? Why? That doesn't make any sense. I don't get why they changed it. That doesn't make much sense. I think you're going to start seeing, like, ladies and gentlemen, we've already talked about draft picks being as valuable as they are now. This is the most valuable draft picks have ever been in NBA history. Second round draft picks have just become even more valuable. They've become even more valuable. So on top of this, HJ17 Gaming, I'd like to speak on your comment right there in the purple app. I appreciate that comment. He said, all this rule change did is make it impossible for small market teams to rebuild. Get good. Get good. So, they did that. And there's also a little secret in here as well. If you do some digging and you actually read what Shams was talking about, right? There's a little detail that you guys might have missed. If you are accused of tanking, if somebody thinks in the NBA hierarchy that your team is purposely losing games in any which way, you will suffer a multitude of these punishments. Number one, Adam Silver will fine the owner $10 million. Yes, that's in the clause. That's in the clause. Adam Silver will fine your team $10 million. Okay? Adam Silver will take your pick away. Yeah. If this is in the fine print, if you guys go ahead and read the actual document, he will take your pick. Or he will reassign your pick. The fact that only the Grizzlies, they are the only team that rejected this. That speaks larger volumes than you could ever know. Now, for some of these owners, the way these owners work is they're thinking, good, now we won't tank, we'll be better, and we'll put asses in those seats. The issue is, do you genuinely believe that people want to they want to go watch, I don't know, let's say an injured team, let's say Trae Young, Alex Sarr, Anthony Davis are all out for the Wizards. You're rolling out a team with Keontae George being at the helm, which I love Keontae. But do you genuinely believe that fans want to come watch that even though they're missing everybody else in the starting lineup? This is very confusing. This is very weird. I'm not a huge fan of this. In my opinion, I think Adam Silver is focused on the wrong things. Tanking was a big issue this year. But over the last few years, can you genuinely say that tanking has been egregious? Tanking is talked about most this year because you had a third of the league tanking. You genuinely had a third of the NBA tanking. You had 11 teams out of 30 tanking. So I think now that it's an issue this year, I don't think, sorry, I said Keontae George, I meant Keyshawn George. Sorry, it's an easy name to confuse. But I think it's just because this draft is so deep that they're actually going through this extent. I think Silver's got a lot of other things on his plate that he should be pointing to, like flopping, like unethical hoops, like that. Make basketball a more enjoyable sport to watch because it's the best sport in the fucking world. It is. But when it's controlled by officials and it's controlled by the biggest nuances and the biggest jokes that we have in the league, shout out James Harden for doing this. It's annoying. It's truly annoying. Okay. He also said flopping is not a concern. I agree. He did say that. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the last piece of news. Mitchell Robinson, backup center of the New York Knicks. Actually, I had to change the headline Because yesterday, Shams posted that he has suffered a broken right pinky finger, and there is no timetable on his return. That's bad. But then today, he tweeted, Mitchell Robinson has undergone surgery on his broken right pinky finger and fully plans to play in the New York Knicks Game 1 of the NBA Finals against OKC or San Antonio next Wednesday while wearing a brace on his hand. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. He's going to be playing with a brace on his hand. Shout out Mitch. He probably broke it when he was playing with his Trump truck. His Donald Trump truck. I hope he gets better. I hope Mitch gets better. I think he'll be fine. It's not like he shoots the basketball anyways. All he needs is to rebound and dunk and rebound and dunk. People are saying it happened in game 4 of the Cavs game. I didn't see it, but yeah, I hope he gets better. Hope he gets better. I don't like injuries. I want to see both teams healthy going into the finals. I hope he gets better. Hacker Robinson might be even better. It might be even better. Because maybe somehow he'll shoot it with a little bit more arc where maybe it won't work anymore. All right, guys, let's talk about our stud of the night. I think it's pretty obvious last night, our stud of the night. It's the guy that got everybody in check to start this game. Nobody looked ready to play for the San Antonio Spurs except one man, and that guy in the beginning of the game, Victor Wembanyama. 28 minutes. He also had 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. 3 turnovers, but he shot 10 for 21 from the field, and he started the game 4 for 5 from 3, but he ended up being 4 for 9 from 3. Not even that crazy of a game for Victor Wembanyama, but I think the most important moment of this game for Wemby was that first quarter. He knocked down 3 threes in the first quarter, and he had multiple blocks already. I really think he set the tone for this team. He got everybody ready and hype and anxious to start this basketball game. As far as AJ Mitchell, I don't know if he's going to be back. I don't know if J-Dub's going to play in game 7. I have no idea. I don't have insider reports, so my apologies. Yeah, Castle's been incredible. Harper had his bounce back game, which is great. And Fox, he's just got to stop shooting. 1 for 9 is horrendous. Just stop shooting. Just get everybody involved because he's doing everything else fine. 7 assists, 5 rebounds. You're doing everything else fine. Just stop shooting the basketball. 1 for 9 is horrible. 0 for 3 from deep is not good. Just stop. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's podcast. Now, of course, I did mention we have game 7 tomorrow. Okay. If you guys want to watch game 7 with me and the rest of my community, the only place to do that is in my Discord server. Okay. The link for my Discord server for my Discord server is right there in the Twitch chat. So be sure to click that link and join the Discord server. We'd love to have you in there, hang out with me, hang out with the community. I'd love to get to know y'all. Now, of course, you guys in the TikTok, you don't have the Discord link there. So if you guys do want to join, watch with us, hang out with us live during game 7, be sure to join the Twitch stream. It would really, really, really mean a lot. I live in North Carolina, Ness, but shout out Dearborn. I'd love to see you guys come through to the Twitch stream, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. And yeah, we won't have an episode. We won't have a podcast until Monday morning. We'll talk about what happened in game 7, any other news that breaks out. And come Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss it. We are going to be previewing the NBA Finals, the Knicks versus blank. Okay? So do not miss Monday morning's episode. We are going to be previewing that series for the first ever time. Tuesday, we're probably going to get more in depth with that preview and talk about what I believe is going to happen. And I hope you guys are excited. I said Oklahoma in 7 before the series started. I'm going to stick to my guns here, even though the Spurs have momentum. I'm going to stick to my guns. I got Oklahoma winning in game 7. I said it before the series started. OKC in 7. I think I'm going to stick there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching/listening. And I hope to catch you guys Monday morning during our finals preview of game 1 for the NBA Finals that begins next Wednesday. And again, if you guys want to watch the game with me tomorrow, game 7, be sure to swing on into the Discord server. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Discord server is in the Twitch chat. Love y'all. Have a blessed weekend. And I'll catch you guys Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Twitch chat. Stick around.